Hi, I'm William Clarkson, and I'm going to show you how to set up animations in Phaser. First, I copied my basic template, which you can find at my website, and you can also find it in the link with the blog post that goes with this video. I renamed it Animation, and inside I have an Images folder with one image inside called Robot, which will also be available on the blog. But I downloaded it from opengameart.org, though I did modify it into the sprite sheet, and I made it basically the same way I made the sprite sheet in my last video. So the first thing we need to do is to add that into the preload statement to put it in Phaser's library. And you can find that under the snippets on my website. It's under Toolbox, Phaser Snippets, and then it's under Sprite Snippets for the piece of code that we want. So we need to add the sprite sheet, copy preload sprite sheet, and paste that into the preload function. You can also just type it out if you need to. It's game load sprite sheets, and then we give it a reference name, which is just any unique name. Robot will do, and the path to the image. In this case, it's images robot.png. We have the sprite width plus any padding, and it's 80 and 111 pixels high, and the number of cells is 28. Take out the console.log ready, we don't need the debug statement, and then go back to your snippets and you'll find add image to stage, which is the same as add sprite to stage. For our purposes today, they are identical. There's some other differences we can talk about later. And we'll call it this robot game, add sprite, and we just need an X and Y position and a left and top. 100 pixels out and 150 down. And then we put that library key, robot. Now that will add it to the stage, and I've set up a local server that I'm running this on, and you can use a local server or you can put it on your website, either way. So let's run that, and there's a robot. And if you know from the last video, you can say this robot.frame equals, and in this case 23 just for testing, and that will change the sprite. Now to add an animation, there are 4 lines of code that we need, and we've done the first 2 already: load sprite sheet and game add sprite. To add an animation, I'll go back to the snippets because it's a little lengthy. Add animation to sprite. This robot animations.add, and then we'll give it a key such as walk. We're going to have a walk here anyway, and I'll just leave that as it is. Then we need to add a frame array. And that can just be a series of numbers like 0, 1, 2. In this case, the walk cycle is 10 through 17. And we'll give it a number of frames a second. I usually use 12. Your animation might be higher. And we do want it to loop. In the walk animation, one of the loops, there might be at times when we don't want it to loop. Like I don't use a loop on the jump, and maybe doing an explosion or any one-time animation you don't want it to loop. But for the walk we do. And the fourth and final piece of code is this robot animations.play. And then we give it the key, and that's walk. Let's have a look, refresh. And there he's great, he's walking along fine. Now let's add 2 more animations. And I'll just copy this line. And the first one is idle, when the robot is just standing around. and those are the numbers 0 through 9. And the next is jump, and that is 18 through 25. And we do not want the jump to loop. Let's check out the idle first, and we'll replace the walk key with the idle. Great, wonderful. Now for the jump. Fantastic. And that's all there is to adding animations in Phaser. I hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching, and if you did find it useful, please subscribe.